sure you flip it.
Hey you guys, we're in Orlando. We're here with SequoyahMatoaka Goodbye Pretty Nails. Remember the name. How you flip it? Oh, I liked it. It says it got a power button.
Or enhance.
Alright, me too. Alright, you guys, we're at her very first nail show. Go ahead, do it again one more time. Know what I'm saying? What's up, pretty people? We have Nino. She's on a demonstration. Then we have SequoyahMatoaka as the instructor. Then we have these two fine ladies back in. You know what I'm saying? We about to get it crunk. We got to get it popping.
Bring that like right here. You can see everybody, right?
No. I'll just record. I'll just be right here and let it record us.
Not too far back because you can't really see.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Alright, you guys, stay tuned. We finna get popping.
Goodbye, pretty nails. Goodbye, pretty nails. We get some more energy when I say goodbye. Y'all say pretty nails. Goodbye, pretty nails. Goodbye, pretty nails. Goodbye, pretty nails. Goodbye, pretty nails. All right, so I'm SequoyahMatoaka. Y'all may know me, y'all may not know me. I'm a licensed master cosmetologist, and I specialize in acrylic freestyle services, and I serve my clients. I get looking at my clients, just allow me to do whatever I want to do, and I love that. I'm also the owner of Beautifully Blessed Beauty Bar, and I offer high quality nail supplies. I offer tooth gems with these little diamonds in the tooth. I offer tooth whiteness, and then I also do nail classes, private and group classes. So what we're going to do today, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about me, how I got started, how I got to where I'm at today, and then my brand ambassador, Nino, is going to demonstrate how to use some nails. Okay? I'm a little nervous. It's my first time being in front of all y'all people. It's a lot of y'all. So I originally started doing nails in 2017, and I started doing nails because I was getting married, I was moving, and I just wanted to save myself some money. And because I went to this girl, and she charged me $60 for a full set. I went back there for a fill-in, and she charged me $60 for the fill-in, and I'm like, I don't have money like this. So I just started, I went to salads, and I got the little $20 kit, and I started practicing. And I was like, hold up, I like this. I really like this a lot. So I started practicing more, I started investing, I started watching YouTube. I got married, I moved, I took the nails on the side. 2018, I started back, and I was like, I like this. I really, really like this. So I started doing it more. January 2019, when I told myself, I'm going to make this a business. I didn't have a website. I didn't have a logo. All I wanted to do was make this a business. So I started a Facebook page. 2019, January. February 2019, I took my first client. Mind you, I was doing nails from 2017 to 2019. I wasn't taking no clients. I didn't want nobody to talk about me. I didn't want nobody to say, girl, your nails coming off, girl, your nails this. No, I practiced. I wanted to make sure that my foundation was good. I wanted to make sure that my nails was not lifting. And like I said, I didn't want nobody talking about me, like, don't go to her because your nails popping off. So I made sure I did what I needed to do before I started taking my clients. So in 2019, I took my clients. I told my sisters that I wanted to go to cosmetology school to do the full program. They was like, that don't make any sense. Why are you going to do the full program? Just do a nail tech school. So I signed up for a nail tech school, which was an hour away. So I was driving an hour to school, an hour from school. The lady at the school, y'all, she did not like me. She saw my potential and she was like, she did not like me. So she basically kicked me out of her school. So when she kicked me out of her school in 2018, I moved to Augusta, Georgia. And when I got to Augusta, Georgia, I told myself, I want to do nails. This is something that I want to do. I'm not going to let her kicking me out of school stop me. So then I signed up for the Master Cosmetology program because that's all Georgia had at the moment. They didn't have just a regular nail tech school. So I had to do the full program. You know, I hate it. I don't like anything about hair. I don't like anything about makeup. I don't like anything other than nails. But I did it because at that stage of my life, I knew that I wanted more than just nails. So I was like, okay, if I go to school to be a cosmetologist, I can do everything. There's a lot of stuff that I can do. I can do hair, nails, makeup. I'm not just a regular nail tech. I'm a nail tech that can do all kinds of stuff. So I went to school, and in the midst of me going to school, y'all, I was working at the VA hospital. I was in North Carolina, and when I came from North Carolina, I moved, so like I said, I moved to Georgia, and I was a pharmacy technician. When I moved, y'all, my supervisor immediately started stressing me. Immediately. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was God trying to tell me you're getting a little too comfortable, but she was like stressing me out the entire year that I was there. She wanted to fire me so bad, but she didn't have anything on me. She couldn't fire me. So she just kept doing whatever, and I kept praying. I was like, God, you know, I don't like this. I was tired of going to work. I would leave my house 30 minutes before arriving to work. I would get to work 15 minutes before I had to be to work. And I still would be late to work. I was getting out my car at 7 o'clock. Knowing that I was already there, I was getting out my car, making sure that I was late because I hated being at that job. So I was like, God, you know, I'm not sure y'all was late or whatever. I was like, God, you know what? You guys don't do that. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. So the first opportunity that I got to be PRN, y'all know PRN is. PRN is as needed, I took it. I was like, I don't want to leave my job just in case the nails didn't work out. Mind you, at that time, I had just moved to Augusta. I didn't have no clients, but I knew that I had a vision, and I knew I had a plan. So because I had a vision, I had a plan, I was like, I was going to make this work. So in the midst of all that, I was doing nails. Like I said, I moved to Augusta in the end of 2019. I was so mad. I was like, I ain't got no clients. Ain't nobody trying to make me do their nails. I'm stressing out. I was telling my husband, I'm stressing out. The beginning of 2020, the pandemic started. So I was like, hold on now, that's my opportunity. Everybody shut down. So when everybody was shut down, I told my husband, I said, listen, I gotta make these people come to this house. And he was like, oh, pandemic, COVID. I'm like, listen, you gonna pray? We gonna do the temperature. So as soon as they walk in, we were taking the temperatures. I have my kids taking their temperatures. Everybody else. I had policies in place. You had to arrive at my house no later than 5 minutes. If you were 5 minutes late, I was charging you a $15 fee because this is my home. I had to still make sure that my family was comfortable. So I had policies, I had plans, and I still didn't really have no clients. But I had this one particular client who was like, I'm helping. She said she's going to help me. And she helped me. She was promoting more than I was promoting. I'm like, okay, good. So, as I said, I came to Augusta. I didn't really have any clients. And I told myself that I wanted to go to school, so I did end up registering for school. And like I said, I went to Master Cosmetology School. At the time, because I was still working, I was just I was just part-time, so I was only able to get like a certain amount of hours. Because the pandemic hit, I was able to put in full-time hours. I was able to graduate way earlier before I was supposed to. Like I said, I was still at home, and everybody was like, girl, why you don't got no show? Why you don't got this? They didn't even know I wasn't licensed. I didn't tell nobody I wasn't licensed because it wasn't nobody's fault. I mean, it wasn't nobody's business. They wasn't asking me if I was licensed. They never asked me if I had a license. So I'm like, I got good work. I got policies. I got all these stuff in place. They ain't worried, so I'm not going to be worried. So I'm not telling them I'm not licensed. So the reason why I was home was because I wasn't licensed. You know what I'm saying? So after I got my license, I got my suite. I manifested I was going to get a suite. I got my suite. I started my acrylic line system. So I do have my products. I have high quality products. And let me tell y'all how I started that. So remember I told you I came from North Carolina and I came to Augusta. When I came to Augusta, I was like, oh, I'm new at nails. I don't know what these people want. I don't know how to really do no designs because I was still learning. So I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. I made everybody who came to me text me what they wanted before they came to me 2 days before. That way, if I needed to practice, I was practicing. People that wasn't returning, I was so stressed out. I was telling myself, like, why are these people not returning? She said, well, do surveys. So I started doing surveys. That way I can get feedback. Tell me, because you know sometimes when people come to you, they are afraid to tell you what it is. They're not going to tell you that my nails are ugly. They're not going to tell you that right in front of you, but if you do a survey, they're going to tell you everything in that survey. So I started doing surveys, and they started telling me the reasons why it wasn't coming back, and that was helping me because I was like, okay, well, let me fix this. So I was fixing everything. But how I started my acrylic system is because I came to Georgia, and I didn't have no products really. And I was like, I'm not going to go out here and spend all this money on products, and I don't even know what colors they want. They might want this color, and I don't have this color. So I was like, okay, let me know what color y'all want, just in case I have to make it. So I started making colors for my clients, and they started saying, well, my nail tech is better than yours, and my nail tech can make custom colors. So I'm like, okay, this might be my lane. So I started making more colors, and the more people was like, oh, my nail tech can do this. My nail tech can do this. I'm like, okay, this is my lane. So that's how I started making colors. And I make all of my products. Every last acrylic product that you see, I make. Every last product that you see that I have, I make because I feel like I'm the maker. You know, I'm not going to give nobody the opportunity to have that much control over my business. So I decided to make my own product. So that's a little bit about me. If you guys follow me, if you guys don't know me, if you guys follow me, and then I'm going to have Nino, which is my brand ambassador. So this is Nino. She's my brand ambassador. And like I said, I started my company August of 2021. It hasn't even been a full year, and look at me now. I came here last year with the school just to see how everything works. And when I came here, I told myself, I'm going to be here next year. Yes. That's my lane. So look at me. I'm here next year. Last year, and look at her, that's my girl. So this is Nino, she's my brand ambassador. She's been started with me since I started my company. This is Kara, this is another brand ambassador that I have. And this is my sister, her name is Micah Miles. She has her own hair growth products. The best hair growth products, like if you bald, you got hair that don't want to grow back, get her products, she has it. So, but Nino is going to demonstrate to you guys how to do a nail because I'm more so geared towards beginners. Because when I first started, nobody wanted to help me. Like, it was a lot. Like, nobody wanted to help me with pricing, nobody wanted to help me with nothing. So I told myself, once I got to a position where I was able to help, I'm going to help. So I'm more so geared towards beginners. You know, because beginners need the most help. You guys really need help. So she's going to demonstrate some stuff. And I'll pass it on to her. Okay, girl.
Hey, everyone. You guys can hear me? I'm sorry. The mic. Hello. No. That's it. Hey, everybody. Like she said, I am Untitled Martinez, SequoyahMatoaka brand ambassador. And today I'm going to show you how to prep, apply, and finishing acrylic nail. Also, with some sanitation, okay? So to start with, we have to make sure that all our service are started with our client washing and scrubbing their hands with antibacterial soap, the manicure brush, scrub, and water, obviously, right? And that we use sanitizer. We're gonna use a pair of new gloves, a new file, buffer, and all our implements are clean, sanitized, and ready to go for the next one. Between every client, we have to make sure we do this, along with the stationery.
Yes, y'all, sanitation is very, very, very important because you don't want to get nobody an infection, you don't want to get nobody nothing. And I don't play that. I tell my clients, I'm not picking nothing off your nails, I'm not doing nothing because I don't want y'all to come back and try to see anything. But sanitation, y'all, is very, very, very important. So make sure y'all keep up the sanitation.
That's also with the monomer that you use. If there's any left in the dapping dish, we need to toss it out. So make sure you put in the dapping dish the amount that you need, okay? Because we don't want to waste product, right? Okay, so let's start this.
Let's start.
The fun part.
The fun part. How many of y'all in here do nails, right? Y'all started? How long have y'all been doing nails? 1 month? 5 years? 5 years? What's the longest? Who's been doing nails for like more than 10 years? Really?
So we're gonna start prepping the nail. And we're gonna start by pushing the cuticle gently because we don't want to harm. I hope you guys see this setup.
You probably gotta turn the other way.
Turn it.
Yeah, you probably gotta maybe turn your seat this way.
The seat or the whole thing.
No, he put the camera like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So maybe you gotta sit over there.
See.
This camera. I see what you say back there. Yeah, in the back. No, just move it to the back. Yeah, move it back behind her? Yeah. So if y'all not already following me, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm all over. I go live a lot on TikTok.
Coy, what's that?
It's SequoyahMatoaka. Everything
What's
is
that
at
QR code?
SequoyahMatoaka. So I go live a lot on TikTok, y'all. I also posted a 5-week nail class on YouTube because when I teach, I don't like to teach everything at once because it's overwhelming. So I like to teach one thing at a time. So what I did is I posted 5 videos for 5 weeks showing you how to do everything separately. That's how I like to do it. Like I said, we do nail classes. Give me a minute. We do nail classes. For 6 or more people, we will travel to you. And then if you guys book, whoever booked me, I'll give you half off. What's your question?
As an educator, are you your own school or are you able licensed to teach?
I haven't gotten my instructor license yet, but I'm working on it. I'm in the process of doing that currently.
Okay. So right now it's basically just classes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys see this better? We're gonna try to make this work. Right? It would have been mine. I would have put it back here. Okay, so there goes the client, right? So we're gently gonna be pushing back the cuticle because we don't want to harm the clients, right? Rebuilding all that dead tissue in the nail plate. Okay. When that is done, I like to come in with my buffer, not a file, because all we need to do is just get the shine out of the nail. We don't want to harm that nail. That's all you need. Just get that oil, the shine out the nail. We're good to go. So we're gonna use a buffer 180. So with the buffer, we're gonna go in into the cuticle. Now this is soft, it's not gonna harm the nail or the skin. So we're gonna get close to the cuticle right? To get all that that tissue out, and along with getting the shine of the nail. So we're gonna do all that all along. Okay. So now I like to
Hold
come.
on. What products are you? I mean, what drill and stuff are you using? Of course.
You guys
mine.
tell me
I
what
told
it
y'all.
is. SequoyahMatoaka.
I have my own lamps. I have my own drills. We do have a booth, which is 2324. So make sure y'all come out to our booth Saturday. I mean Sunday and Monday to talk to us some more.
Okay. So now with my e-file in 5 RPM, really low, because we don't want to harm the nail. The most important here, yeah, we want to have pretty nails. We want to, right? But we got to take care of the nail. That is the priority thing here, okay? So with my silicone manicure bead, we're going to start in the sinus. You guys see? We're going to start in the sinus, which is this part right here. And we're going to put the bead parallel to the nail. And we're not going to do no pressure. We're going to just let that bead do the work. All right? Make sure. Now, you see what happened? My drill went like that. For that not to happen, we're going to support our hand with the pinky. Either if it's in the client hand, finger, or in mine. So then you have more. My nails is in the way. Sorry, you guys. So then all that tissue is out, right? So when that is done, I like to come in with my manicure ball bead. There is a lot of saying about the cuticle. I try not to cut the cuticle if I don't have to. Unless it's like really grow, then I go ahead and cut it. If not, then this is your best friend. And this is what I'm gonna do is just polish the whole cuticle along, and again in 5 RPM, along with this skin right here that sometimes it get rough, right? So we're gonna go and we're gonna soften all that skin around the cuticle and in the sidewall skin, right?
And make sure y'all pay attention to y'all state because I'm a master cosmetologist, I can't use the nippers. We're not supposed to use the nippers. I don't recommend using the nippers anyway, especially if you don't want to land, because that can really cause an infection.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
so
that's me going in.
Then
Cut it.
we're gonna go and trim the nail. Now this one is already trimmed, so you could use either the nipper or the straight scissors, whatever you feel comfortable with. There is not a right or wrong way to do a lot of things, but just to take care of that natural nail. If you like it and your client like it, forget what the rest of the people say. All right? So then after we cut the nail, we're gonna file the edge of the nail, the free edge, right? And this is another important part. When you select the tip that we're gonna use, we gotta make sure, I'm gonna dust it out with the manicure brush. And we're gonna fit the tip over the nail and make sure it fits from wall to wall, from corner to corner. No bigger, no smaller, because that's gonna cause lifting. Okay? If you put it bigger, if you don't have the right size and you need to use a bigger tip, adjust it before applying it. Because when you apply it and then you try to make all these adjustments, it's just gonna lift up and we don't know, right? Okay. To apply the tip, we're just gonna use 1 drop. We don't need a lot of glue. 1 drop of glue, and then we're gonna spread it from corner to corner. From corner to corner.
I look blurry.
Just using 5% of the natural nail, because we want the rest to have a good foundation. All right. We're gonna put pressure and make sure the corners are glued too. Now it's time to trim. We're going to trim in the desired length. I'm going to do right here. A little bit more. Okay. And now I'm going to come in with my 100 grit file. And all I'm going to do is, you see this part right here? I'm just going to make sure it's just flush to the nail. All right. So we're just going to go parallel to the nail. Just a little bit. And whatever you do always in one side, you make sure you do in the other side. Go ahead and curl the tip. And then we're going to blend this part right here, which is where the tip and the nail meet. But we're going to do it without touching the natural nail, because we're already done with the natural nail. All right. So we're going to go with the file. And we're going to file and blend that smile. Okay. Make sure it's nice and neat. And I like to shade before applying the acrylic, because that's going to help me at the end, because it's already shaped. So at the end, all we're going to do is just refine, okay, and make sure everything is smooth. So now we're going to dust it out with the manicure brush, and we're going to use our nail prep dehydrated with a lint-free wipe. And we're going to wipe all that dust out. Make sure going down, because we want to take all that dust. We don't want nothing in our cuticle. Make sure all that is nice and clean. Okay. Now we're ready for the application, the fun part, right? Okay. Before doing the application, I'm going to show you how to pick up a piece. So I hope my technique can help you.
Yeah, make sure y'all follow us on TikTok. We do a lot on TikTok. Like, I be giving out a lot of information. So. 3:30 or 4:30?
This part, everybody has problems because everybody takes classes, everybody see our videos, and
Contested.
you gotta have in consideration if you are using the same product, the same monomer that we're using, if you're using the same side of brush. Even the climax makes a difference. Like maybe where you at is more humid, so the product is not gonna work the same way. We all know, and if you know, you're about to know, when it's hotter, the product dries faster, right? When it's hot, it's more fluid. You have more time, or maybe. Now again, burp again. Tap 1, 2. Come in 1, 2. And you're gonna get a medium beat. This brush is new. And you have okay. Now to get a small beat, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and you dab 1, and you got a small beat. Okay. So now we're gonna use that technique. The first beat we're gonna place, I'm gonna do the 3 metal ball, and the first beat I'm gonna put is in the free edge, in the stress area. We're gonna get a large beat. We're gonna put it, and then with the tip of the brush, we're gonna bring the product from side to side, and with the body of the brush, we're gonna bring it down.
Primer. Please remember that primer is not needed. If you're pressing the nails the correct way, primer is not necessarily needed. You don't have to use primer. And I did a video showing you guys how primer is not needed, and I also did a video showing you guys that I use cuticle oil on my nails instead of primer. My nails don't last in 2 weeks. So as long as you're prepping your nails correctly, you don't have to use primer. So I tell y'all, follow me most tips and tricks.
Again, if you guys don't feel comfortable, just try it.
Yep, test it out. I always tell you, test it out for yourself.
Okay, so with the body of the brush, we want to make sure the sides are tight in. And in 10-degree angle, we're going to put the brush parallel to the nail to keep it nice and flush. And we don't want to have a bump. If you go like this and you try to go with the tip, that's what's going to cause all the bumps. So make sure you have that that brush parallel to your nail, okay? Now we're gonna get a second beat, and we're gonna put this in the apex area. If you do the nail like I'm doing it right now, it's gonna help you a lot with the apex. A lot of people have problems of how thickness and how far you gotta go with the apex. So because we already have this kind of bumpy here, when you place the other beat, that's gonna give you the right thickness, all right? So here we're gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're gonna place it in the apex again with the tip of the brush. Bring the product side to side.
I see how her bead is not running. Just because her liquid to powder ratio is good. She picked up a good bead.
And then in 10-degree, we're gonna bring it down. And,
huh? It is hard and fast. Like this, our monomer, it takes about, I tested about 15 seconds. That's a while. It's a while to play with it, so it gives you enough time to like really play with it to do what you have to do. And because it's self-leveling, when you use the acrylic, she may demonstrate it, I'm not sure, but when you use it, it's gonna like do the work for you. If you don't know what I mean, you can test the product, you can come to our TV, you can test it, but yeah, it's self-leveling, so it's gonna like do whatever you do for you.
okay, so when you guys are placing that bead with the tip of the brush, we're gonna make sure we're not touching the skin. If you're touching the skin, which you shouldn't, but if you do, with the tip of the brush, that's how we're gonna clean that area. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the cuticle. 3 times. Get a smaller bead. And I'm gonna go in 1 to 2 hairline from the cuticle. Okay. And then with the tip of the brush, we're gonna put that tip inside the cuticle, and we're gonna go in and do the same procedure. Blend it down. Now you see how a little Velcro got in here? We want to come in the tip and clean it up.
Use your tip to clean off your cuticles. Do not use the body of your brush because you don't want to put all that product on your client's nails because you don't know if they are allergic and you don't want them to start becoming allergic to the product. So make sure that you're using the tip.
Yes. Okay. So we're done with the thing. Now look at all angles to make sure everything is nice. Oh, sorry, you guys. Next time we do our shot. Make sure it's nice and flush. It's blurry, but okay. Now I'm gonna show you what she said about the self-leveling.
And always make sure that you guys
How do you unzoom it right here?
your client's nails. Make sure that when you're laying the acrylic that you're going like this. Make sure that you're looking at it from this angle, looking at it from this angle. Because if you're looking at it from this angle all the time, you're gonna be like, okay, girl, it looks perfect. But then the minute you flip, you could be like, oh, what happened? So make sure you always
Yeah. So this is what she.
zoom in on her. She's gonna zoom in to see if we can see the. Oh, we can't zoom in.
So this is what she means when she said self-leveling. We're gonna pick up the beat. We're gonna place it.
Turn a little bit this way.
You see it?
And you see how it's doing all the work? Now let's say you accidentally push in, it's still leveling. All you have to do is bring and mold the acrylic where you want it to be.
What about when you do a marble encapsulated nails for some of them?
It's still, I mean, it doesn't really affect it too much. Yeah, it doesn't. Maybe you can demonstrate. Yeah.
Now all this time that we don't have the acrylic right there, we did a boo-boo and it start self-leveling. I don't know if you guys see it. And then you go in and help it.
She's still able to mold it and bring it down.
That this is why it's
Okay, sorry.
this is why it's beginner friendly. Okay? Because it gives you time to mold. Okay. So I don't have another color to show them.
If y'all want to see more self-leveling, y'all gotta
Yeah.
come to the booth.
And about the marbling and all of that stuff, and then we'll show you over there.
What number did you say your booth?
2324.
Is it in the big, where is that?
It's in the nail world. It's in the nail world.
When y'all walk, y'all see it'll be signs at the top that say 2300, 2400. It's in the 2300 section.
Yeah.
Can y'all see good? Is it good? Okay.
Now, when it's time to file, you make sure you close all your products because we don't want to contaminate it. Okay. And then the monomer, we clean it out and we toss it because we already said we're not using them for nothing else. Unless you're gonna do a 3D on top or anything else, then we're gonna put it out to the side, cover it, put it to the side, and then we're gonna use that to finish whatever else you're gonna do in that client. Okay. So I like to come in with my home beat.
Is this good information?
I hope you guys are learning and enjoying this. Okay. So I like to come in with my carbide cone bead. And I'm gonna put this in 20 to 25, however comfortable you feel. If you're a beginner and you're not comfortable with the e-file yet, first of all, practice hand. Make sure that we don't want to harm those clients, right? Or much pressure you gotta do, how far you can go, and all of that stuff. So there is no better practice hand than in your hand. in your own hands. Plus, doing it yourself is more complicated. So if you pass that stage, then you go to the easiest, and then it's gonna be a piece of cake. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm gonna go with my cone bead in 35. In my cuticle. And I'm gonna not seal it, but define it. We seal when we apply the acrylic. That's how I believe it. There's a lot of people that do it different ways. As long as you know, either if it's with the application, with the bead, with whatever, that nail is sealed, that's all it counts. Everybody just explain and say things different. You just gotta make sure that's not gonna live. And if you did a good prep, trust and believe it's not gonna live. Okay? So we're gonna start in one side of the sinus, which is this part right here, right? And I'm gonna put it in 35 angle degrees. But this bead, I like it because if you see when you go in the cuticle, you're already making the angle for you. So it's helping you, right? And also this bead is safety. The tip is safety, so it's not gonna cut. It's not gonna create fire rings, which that's also a big thing right here that we don't want to harm again the nail. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna define that cuticle area. When you feel comfortable that that area is nice and clean, I like to go in with the same bead. And since we did a smooth application, right? All I'm gonna do is just making sure there's no bumps and lumps. And I'm gonna go in vertical. And you see how I'm moving the finger along with the file?
You see how she's lifting up as she's using that drill? You have to make sure that you're lifting up between every...
You're not gonna go like this.
Yeah, you don't want to be...
That's gonna cause burn. So you're gonna go lift, lift, lift. And if you're doing it fast, it might look like you're going, but you're not really. So that is really something important that, because we don't wanna burn the client, okay? So with this same one, I wanna flip the nail and make sure in the bottom is all nice and clean. Okay. We're done with that part. And I'm gonna come back again with my 100 grit file, and I'm gonna start filing on the lower side, making sure that it's nice and clean. Again, on the other side. Whatever you do in one side, you always do it on the other side. Okay? So that. Sorry, what was that? 100. 100, 100. Now, a lot of people are using the 80. You really need to know how to maneuver it. And that's why I'm not using it here, because we are, again, more to the beginner side. And if you're a beginner, I don't suggest you that until you manage the 100 one. Because obviously it's gonna be more sharp, and if you don't know how to manage it in this area right here, you could cut the client, okay? Now another thing I forgot to say, I'm sorry. Before you do it, or you use any file, we're gonna prep the file. And all we gotta do is just go like this in all edges, because we don't wanna cut the client. And all files will have that sharp edge, okay? So, client, help me here. Okay, thank you. So,
Client showing off.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with on the tip, and I'm gonna go and bring the file in 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees, and I'm gonna file first here, and I'm gonna turn the client hand on their view and make sure that looking at me and looking at them is straight, because sometimes looking at me it looks straight, but then when they look at their hand, be like, that's crooked. How is crooked if I'm looking it right? Well, turn their hand and you will see it crooked. Okay, so you got to make sure all the time, and if it's crooked, you go and you double check, confirm, turn it towards you, and make sure everything is nice and neat. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the side walls. In the side walls, we're gonna make sure the file is parallel to the nail. It is really important that this nail stays straight to the finger. If you see here, I'm putting it straight with the finger. I'm aligning it with the finger. This one is square. If we're doing coffin or a stiletto, obviously we're gonna angle it more. And the pressure we're gonna put in the tip. We don't want no kind of file here. We just want to define here. But in the tip, that's where you need more the pressure. Okay. So this one, we're just gonna go and let the file kind of do the work, because here we have a nice and even application, so we don't have to do a lot of work. Same thing, whatever you do in one side, you do in the other one.
And that's the goal, y'all. The goal is to lay your acrylic as smooth as you can. The goal is not to lay your acrylic however you want to, because you want to work smarter and not harder.
Yeah. And if you got a smooth application, the finish is just like a here. I'm taking longer because obviously I'm trying to explain you guys. And then we're gonna go in the surface. How I like to do mine is grab the nail, the finger like this, push the skin back. I don't know if you see it. And when I'm turning the finger this way, my file is gonna go that way. I don't wanna have a square. I wanna have that round shape. And having that round shape also is leaving more product in the middle, less product in the sides, where that is gonna give support to the nail, so not to break. So the support is not only gonna be in the apex, it's always gonna be all in the middle. Does that make sense? Okay, so, wrapping motion. We're gonna file, making sure all that's smooth. Now I don't know if you guys could see it. I wish you guys could see it. There's a spot right here that don't have no lines, right? So the file went through here, went through there, but haven't touched that part. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep filing. That's why we gotta make sure though that we have enough product there, that we apply enough product, because obviously if you don't and you wanna keep filing to make that even, you're not gonna have no product, so it's not gonna be enough thickness for the nail to be not to break, right? So we're gonna file.
And take advantage of your hand file.
You see how-
Hand file,
Yeah.
sorry, And just remember that it's one hand file per client. Okay, it's not, don't keep reusing hand files per client, because it's just one. That's a part of sanitation, one hand file per client. And if you be like, I don't wanna throw away my file, well, you should be charging your clients for that file anyway. That should be included in your pricing.
What should be included?
The files.
The
Like,
files, the
you-
buffer, everything that it's
all of your
not
benefits.
reusable.
I usually give it to them. I will start charging. I usually give it to them.
Regardless, you should still include it inside of your,
Right,
you should
I
still
can
be
go into
included
the
inside of your pricing.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's one of the full size buffers that have 3 sides, then I feel like it's okay.
Yeah, that is
on one
okay,
side.
yeah.
But for a file, I mean, personally, me in Orlando, it's 50. It's a
State
50
board, I'm
pack.
telling you,
It's a
state
50
board.
pack for $9.
Yeah.
Come on, like if you can't use one, sometimes I use 2 a client so I can get that extra
Right.
shape. Like we can't be cheap out here. We're
can't.
still making our money back.
Right. If you're charging right.
If we're pricing ourselves correctly and we're charging our worth, we're getting our money back. We can't be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you're doing the sanitation, you have to follow state board.
The
rules.
state board.
So
That
it's
is
one
really,
hand
really.
down.
Not only we don't want to contaminate nobody, you don't want to contaminate yourself, and we don't want to be fined. Who want to pay? You trying to get money, you're not trying to give it away. So, I like to go close to the cuticle, but not too close, just to have that, make sure it's right. But you really don't have to do anything in there because we already went in with the e-file, okay? So I'm gonna dust it out. Again, make sure all angles are nice and neat and flush, right? And then we're gonna go in with the buffer. With the buffer, you can go 100 on 180. I like to go 100 because I like to leave a little bit of roughness in the surface, so the top coat have more grip. To me, and in my experience, the more I buff, the top coat, it kind of scrape up and peel off. So
You need to have it rough.
exactly. So I like to go in with the 100, okay? And with the 100, I go and do the same thing. This is not really gonna file the nail. This is just gonna smooth it out and make everything together. So I like to do in a rough motion. I also go in the tip and on the lower side.
Look how perfect that nail is, girl. Look at that.
Okay, so now that we're done, we're gonna dust it out, and we're gonna go one more time with our lint-free wipes and our nail prep dehydrated to clean that nail. Make sure all the dust is out, especially in that cuticle, because before we want to make it clean for the acrylic, now this time is for the top coat. If you leave any dust there, it's gonna show in the top coat. So we're gonna come in with the top coat, and I like to do my top coat starting in the middle of the nail, going down, cover the whole nail, and then go in the cuticle, 1 or 2 hair away from the cuticle, because eventually that gel is gonna flow. And if you put it too close to the cuticle, it's gonna flood the cuticle and it's gonna touch the skin. We don't want no product to touch the skin. So 1 to 2 hair line from the cuticle, and then blend everything in. Make sure all corners and edges are nice and covered. And we're gonna cure it for 60 seconds. While that is done, then we're gonna take this time to put everything away and take out whatever is the thing you're gonna put in the top, and that's it. Any questions?
Would you say for like shaping wise, you use more of your hand file than your drill? Because I usually am on more to my hand file than my drill, but like with like the industry, they're like use your drill, and like having like teachers say like use your drill, it's kind of like.
Well, if you have a good application, you don't have to use your drill a lot. The drill is just to help you even everything out and get the bulk out. So if you have a smooth application, always use the file, because the file and the drill is never gonna give you the same effect, final effect. So everything finish with a file and with a buffer to put everything together.
And for me, I'm a hand file type of girl. I only use my drill to like seal in my cuticles to do like removing and stuff, but I use my hand file and I'll work my hand file before I use my drill. So I just have my drill just to, you know, seal in my stuff, but I'm a hand file type of girl, so.
Yeah, so if you know, if it's just like a little bump and lump, I'll go in with the and now if it's like when we do the almonds, the two tones that we do the smile line deep, then I like to clean it with the e-file, but again, we're always gonna finish with the hand file, because the hand file is always gonna have a different finished look. Anyone?
Yeah, right.
Right, yeah. How y'all doing?
Hey.
I got a question because, these are the new type of nails, cause when I was coming up, we didn't do the square, cause I have clients now that I know how to do what we've been doing, but now they got straight long nails. So, I mean, like, they're straight, but they don't look like they have too much of an arch
Curve,
on them. Yeah, you see how
They're straight.
they're straight?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why when you file, you just don't file in. You just keep the shape the way it is.
Right.
'Cause I'm so used to just, I will mess up that shape trying to not get it like, it's supposed to be like that, but I'm so used to the old way of how we used to do it.
My trick is use pre-shaped tips. It's 2022. We not shape. I mean, you learn how to shape, but get you some tips that's already pre-shaped and then just use
You always want to learn how to do everything, because you don't know when you run out of pre-shape. So you want to make sure you want to learn how to shape. But if it's out there, go ahead and make your life more easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On average, how long does it take for you specifically to do like a full set, just one color base?
For me, it takes an hour.
For me, I'm gonna tell you how long it takes me. I'm gonna just give you an advice. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Make sure that nail that's how long it should take you.
See, I have
Along
different
the
advice.
along the time, you're gonna get the speed. The first main thing, don't think about the timing. Think about having it right. And then again, once you go, you're just gonna speed up yourself. So, but yes, if it's just a basic thing, it takes me an hour or two, just a basic one color thing.
Yeah, so in the beginning when you're practicing, I always tell people, don't worry about the time because you're practicing. Learn as much as you can while you're practicing. Once you start practicing, you start getting better. To me, I feel like it should take you an hour. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to do a basic set, prep, all that within an hour. If it's taking you more than an hour, you have to go back to your foundation because something isn't right. Because to me, I feel like an hour is a good amount of time to do a one color solid set. You got a question?
So right now I'm having like problems with my pricing. I don't know where to start at. Like for a short set, I have that at like 51, but I'm not too sure if that's too much.
Are you a beginner? How long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. We'll talk after. With the pricing, it varies. Like, do your nails lift?
No.
Do your clients come back?
Yeah.
You've been doing nails for, I have to see your work. I can't just tell you, but I feel like if your nails are lasting for 2 weeks plus, you should be charging $60 for a basic short set. I feel like that's the average price that a basic short set should start at $60. Anything other than $60 should be for the beginners that's just coming in learning how to do that. Because if you don't really know how to do that, why would I pay you $60? You know, for beginners they should pay $30, $35. But if you know what you're doing, then you should be charging at least $60 for yourself.
Oh yeah, but you talk about acrylics, right?
Yeah, even acrylic or gels, even gel polish, you should still be starting off at $60 because acrylic is just taking the place of the gel.
Do you like doing forms versus tips? What do you like? What do you prefer?
For me, I don't like doing forms. I just do tips.
I love forms.
I just
I love both, but I love forms better.
Yeah, I struggle with the forms, but I can do the tips.
So you were talking about doing like pre-shaped things. I ordered some like pre-shaped coffin nails. They were like, they have like the rounded end, kind of like those. So would you recommend if you're trying to put those on a tip, like how you just did, would you cut that rounded end off of those nails?
I would.
You would? Okay. Because I didn't really know, like I did it on myself and they popped off. So then I was like, maybe I should cut that end off so I can get the coffin shape, but like.
Yeah, you can cut it. Did y'all learn, how was this information? Was it good for y'all? Did y'all learn anything?
Yes.
This is another thing, a quick little tip that I want to give y'all, because you know sometimes when your clients do come in, they are afraid to tell you how they feel about their nails. So one thing that I do is, before any of my clients leave, I always ask them, is there anything that you see that you want me to fix on your nails? Because that's giving them the opportunity to say, yeah girl, can you press this shape? Or I see this dent, or I see that. But if they leave, then they have to come back and they're going to pay a fee because I'm asking you and I'm giving you the opportunity.
They don't like it and this is the stuff.
Because you know, a lot of people are afraid. Like they're coming, you know, be like, oh, I don't want to tell this girl that I don't like my nails. But when you ask them, they're going to be like, oh yeah, girl, fix this. So just use that. Also take advantage of doing surveys. That way you can get feedback from your clients. That way you can know how to improve on your business. And also remember to contact us out at our booth 2324. And you can test our products out as well.
Thank you for being here. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Oh, wait.
Koya, how do you flip this camera?
You gotta go to your hand. You see the hand to the bottom?
Yeah. You guys, I'm so proud of my sister. This is a celebrity.
My phone is crazy.
I'm so proud of her.
You have so we get credit for hours. We got our hours right over here.
That's all, folks. I'm about to end this live.
How to start? Inbox me.
Okay.
Yeah, inbox me. Come on, girl. We put my live right here. Y'all gotta watch me. Taking pictures.
Follow you.
No, they tested one.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Yeah. Sorry for yes. And so you see virtual or
Virtual and yeah.
okay. Is it on your website? Like, do I wear the
It's not on my website, but you can where my classes?
yeah.
I'm in Augusta. Yeah, I'm in Augusta.
So how do we go about that for pricing?
My website. My website is www.goodguys.com. Everything is Goodguys. It's, yeah, and you also got a boot. So I got all my products on it, yeah. And we got some new stuff, yep.
Somebody's phone?
Yes, mine. Hey, you should be starting at $60.
At 60?
Are you licensed?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you licensed? Where you from?
Yes. I'm from Philly, but staying on there.
How is the price range? Well, how is the price range down here? Do people pay? I'm pretty sure they
because I
pay.
work in the salon right now, so like they base their prices off like however they do it. But I feel like because I work with Chinese people, so I feel like I feel
Do
like
you
I
do
do a little better.
acrylic on it, or do you do acrylic and
I
gel
do
polish?
acrylic and gel.
$60. Starting price $60. No leaser than $60. She's from Destiny. She's from here too. You can maybe look at her pricing too, but definitely $60. No, nothing than $60.
Okay.
Then that's short. So then you're gonna charge extra for a medium.
So
Then you're
how
gonna
long would
charge
you say
extra.
for like the long sets, the set, like the longer set?
So you're gonna do 60 for short. Then you're gonna do you could do $5 more for medium, or you could do $10 more for medium. Then you could do another $10 more for long.
And that's just foundation.
That's just foundation, one color.
Okay.
That's all you getting. More than now you're gonna have to start adding on all the add-ons.
Okay.
$60 for short, $70 for medium, $80 for long, depending on what your long is. You can go 90.
Okay.
For extra long extendos.
So I feel like I'm cheating myself.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you're killing yourself. Yes, your work is good.
Wow.
Especially if they're lasting. If they're lasting 2 weeks plus, $60. And your license.
I love you.
Thank you.
Okay, my thing was, I just wanted.
I'm going to end this live, y'all. Thank y'all for watching.